Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Danny's Life and Travel. And today I'm gonna just give you a quick update on what's been going on with AMD. Not much has been going on really. It's been kind of quiet. I did expect it to be kind of quiet, and it is gonna be quiet for the next couple of weeks. And then we're gonna have good news every week, and it'll be all okay. So let's start off with AMD. So AMD Monday was good. You can see here it went up by 7% or something. It was really high. And then on Tuesday it came back down again, and this was basically Monday was when we got added to the S&P 500. I mentioned it in my last video that stock should be up, but it did happen, but then it lost that on Tuesday. And on Wednesday it was back up again, so you got still half of it, about 2%. I think it's up 4% and down by 2%, then up by 2%, and then down again. And then here we've gone below. We lost all the gains. On Friday the issue was that we had the healthcare bill in the US, which was going to pass. It was the same on Thursday. So first it was meant to pass on Thursday, and then what happens is they postpone it, then it's meant to pass on Friday, they're meant to vote on it, and then they pull it, right? So this is where they pull it and it comes back up again. So this was to do with I think the US government and all the crap they're going through. But the good news is that they did say they're going to move on from the healthcare bill, and they're going to just concentrate now on the tax reform, so getting the new tax reform put through and all the rest of it. So that's good news. So if the tax reform does go through, that means it may be less taxes for companies, and that's AMD, and so there'll be more money, and it'll show up in the balance sheet, and so the stock should go up. So that's a good sign. So anyway, that's been the week. So it's been up and down, up and down. I could have gone into anything else, I suppose, but I stuck with this. Another one I knew that was going to go up this week. There was a good percentage chance it was going to go up. So it was Micron Technologies. This one basically they had earnings. So earnings were on the close on Thursday. Now the issue with this was, I'll just show you this. So there was a news story that they had increased their price margins, the margins they make on they make like memory for computers, so DRAM and so on, and they increased their margins earlier, so there was a good chance that they're gonna have a good quarter, they're gonna have good earnings. But the problem I saw with this is, what did I see with this? Is this. So let me just get rid of this. So the earnings before, these are basically the earnings, the estimated earnings and the actual earnings. So if you see here, they're losing money. Yeah, they beat earnings there, so they would have, stock would have gone up there and there. The beat earnings would have gone up, and the beat earnings there, and they were in profit, which is pretty good. But this was the expectation. This is Q1. This is the expectation. So the expectation is way up there, and I thought if they miss it by even a little bit, this stock it might come down. So that's why I didn't go into it. But as you can see with the stock price, it went up. It was up by, I think, a total of 12%. And then because of the healthcare bill and all the rest of it, because Friday should have been a good day for this stock. So after the close on Thursday, it went up because of the good earnings, and they beat earnings. Not only did they beat earnings, but they had good forward guidance. So it went up by 10%, and then early part of Friday, it was up by another couple of percent. So 12% in total, or 13% roughly. And then it started to come down. And the reason for this is, again, you can see it here, it's all because of the US and the healthcare thing. So it's just crazy and stupid, right? But the volume, look at the volume, it was like 4 times the volume. That's the average volume, 26 million shares, 103 million shares. So it had the interest, it had the volume, but I think it's just outside what is it, events were affecting it. And it just shows you, even with a company that has beat expectations, that has beat the high expectations that Wall Street had and had good forward guidance, right? Still, it ends the day only 7% up, right? And it just shows you how outside events can really affect the stock market. I mean, it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be to that extent. If you've had that good of a quarter and you have good forward guidance, then it doesn't matter what anyone else says. You should have amazing upside in the next couple of days at least. But nothing. It's just killed it. So I did read a news story saying that stock market could be held hostage by the administration, the Trump administration, all the rest of it. I hope it's not true. I hope they lose that power to do that. But at the same time, the positive is whenever they take positive action, which they are going to be doing in the future, hopefully it'll affect us in a positive way. So anyway, moving on. What do we got? So we've done advanced micro devices. So this was the healthcare bill here. So it says stocks close mixed after House polls healthcare bill. I did listen to the conference call. I think Paul Ryan gave the conference call. I listened to that, and he did say that we are. This isn't a sign of things to come. Just because we can't pass the healthcare bill doesn't mean that we can't pass other things. So I think they're gonna move forward, and he said we're looking at moving forward with tax. And he said that he'd already spoken to the administration earlier in the day about tax reform. So and there's a lot of consensus on tax reform. A lot more support on there. So that's all good news, and that means it will go up. So next, what else was there? So we covered MU, we covered that. Let's see what else was there. Tesla. So despite the stock being down for everyone else, right, or being subdued in some way, Tesla went up. Yeah, I think this is just because it's a cult stock, and it's whenever there is any kind of news or anything small from Tesla, from the CEO or anything, it just goes up. But again, I'm waiting for that one to come down. Mobileye got bought out. I think it was last week. I don't know if I mentioned that. Again, it went up by 30%. Didn't know that was going to happen, so I don't blame myself for not being in there. I was in there last year. Could have made some money if they did it last year. What else is there? So Intel bought Mobileye basically. So I've got them on my list. Nvidia went up, but again, it's emulating what happened with AMD as well. So you can see where it was up. AMD was similarly up at the start of the day, and then again, it crashes down because of the healthcare thing. This was the time when the vote was coming, and then they pulled it, and off we go. So this is the thing. But I think there was a lot of questions going through my head. I was talking to other investors as well at the same time that should we stay in over the weekend or should we pull out our money and then go in on Monday? And I said the same thing. I said whether it's good news, if it's bad news, right? Let's say it's bad news. Normally, what happens is if it's bad news, there's a big sharp decline, and then within the next couple of days, people come to their senses and think, oh, it's not so bad, and then it starts to go back up. So because it was a weekend, I thought by Monday it will have cleared the air, but instead of losing the vote, they just pulled the bill, which means they'll introduce it somewhere down the line. I think they'll do it in 2018 now. Because I read somewhere that they get 2 chances. I forget what the exact wording is, but they get about 2 chances. They get 1 chance a year to amend a bill, right, and put it through Congress. So that's what they were doing. They weren't going to completely scrap Obamacare. They were going to amend it and put it through. So they only get 1 chance like that in a year. And they were going to do the tax reform in 2018 because they've used up their 1 chance in 2017 and put the healthcare bill through. But now that they're not putting the healthcare bill through, they might, I think they'll use it for the tax. So we'll get the tax reform done in 2017, and in 2018 probably be healthcare bill. So anyway, that's everything from me. I don't see anything else, and I'll see you guys next time. These videos are getting shorter and shorter. There's not much going on. It's just going sideways, generally speaking. And I'll just go on the monthly chart and just to illustrate that. So monthly, 3 monthly chart. So this is what's happening. So this was the peak, came down, went up, came down. So you can see it's fizzing out. Yeah, it's like a heart monitor. You know, it's flatlining. It's fizzing out. It's going sideways. But I expect it to tick up on Monday. Mondays are always up days, and then after that the week again fizz out. Because there's no news as far as I know for the next couple of weeks. There was the Ryzen 5 launch. I think that's coming out on. Just have a look, see. Yeah, that's just me. I want to do a bit nicer on the 5th. Put my money across in my UK savings. Save it. So on the 11th, the Ryzen was due to launch. So that was the start of the good news that week, 11th of April. But I did read a news report where they had delivered already the CPUs to shops in Europe, and some of the shops had sold the CPUs, the Ryzen 5 CPUs, by mistake. So that's a big blunder on their part. But good for us, because if there is bad news about the benchmarking and all that kind of stuff, it's better to get it gradually. If you get it piece by piece, and then it can be dissected and fixed over the next three weeks or so, and responses and all that kind of stuff. And then you have the official launch, and then it's not as huge, but then when the stock goes up, it's more of a gradual thing instead of going up sharp and then dropping down. I'd much rather have a gradual upward trend with the stock. Another one I was surprised about, another stock, was Facebook. Facebook last year it went down from, I think, 334 to 326 or somewhere. I lost 10% on that last year due to bad forward guidance. But then look at it, it's crazy now. It's at 140, and that's been gradually ticking up, right? But they've got nothing going for now. I think it'll be next year they'll have, because they've got the VR headset thing coming along, and they said this is going to take about a year to get that through. Again with Tesla as well, I'm waiting till next year because that's when the numbers really come out, and I think a lot of people know this, and that's why they're hanging on. But I expect that stock to go down, and then I'll buy that below 200. That's my plan anyway. I hope it goes below 200. So maybe I've missed the boat. Hopefully I haven't. But that's it. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today. I hope that was informative, and if you would like me to comment on any other stock or anything else, just let me know in the comment section below. So please like, subscribe and comment. So see you next time, guys. Fanny out.